Jason Ballas with OutdoorProductReview.com, and I want to welcome you to the beginning of our 2009 bow review. This is our third year doing a bow review, and if you're just as excited as us, I know I've gotten a lot of emails from people wanting to see what we have in line this year, and we have a ton of stuff, so just stand by. But today, what we're going to be talking about is the new Diamond Iceman from Diamond Archery, or Bowtech's other brand. It's basically the solo cam edition of Bowtech's bows. Now, a lot of you guys have asked me about the diamonds that I did in the last couple of years, and tell you the truth, I set this up in my garage, shot it a few times just to make sure that the center shot and everything was on, and I'm gonna tell you something, I'm already impressed. But let me cover some of the things about the bow here. The brace height on this is a 7 1/8 inch, which makes it very forgiving for when you're going to be shooting the bow. Has the carbon shaft string suppressor. Now this carbon shaft is directly in line with the setup for your stabilizer, so that all the shock is delivered away from your hand. Provides a zero shock shot, and it allows you to not have any recoil in the bow when you shoot it. It also set up with the center pivot limbs. You've seen the Bowtech bows come out with the last couple of years. This is the first year that Diamond is coming out with this bow. As far as the center limb pivot, it also, like last year, it has the in-velvet finish. The in-velvet finish on this bow is really set up nice. It's smooth. It feels like the velvet on a deer's antlers or an elk's antlers. This year we're using the hostage rest from Bowtech on all of our bows, just because it's simple and it's easy to put on the bow and set up. It's almost a full containment capture rest where you don't have any problems setting it up. Just up and down elevation, left to right. Stick your arrow in there and you could shoot. But that's what we're going to be using for this year's bow review, so that's something pretty nice. It's 31.5 inches axle to axle, so you have a long riser bow, short limbs, a long brace height, which makes it forgiving when you shoot, which is something that as bow hunters we are always looking for, something that's fast, quiet, yet forgiving. This one they came installed with a peep sight already put in there. You know, when I do the bow reviews, I always just shoot instinctively, so that's not an issue. They have the roller guard that Bowtech came out with last year. They have it on their Diamond line. They had it on the Marquise last year, and this year they have it on the Iceman. It allows your cables to independently rotate on the cable roller system, which increases speed and has less drag, so you're going to actually get a little faster arrow speed. This year, we're still shooting a Victory Archery arrow. This year it's 392 grains. Last year it was 373 grains. And I always say the reason why I come up with the grains on the arrows is that's the arrow I choose. I pick it up, put the insert in it, cut it, put the insert in it, put some veins on it, feathers, whatever we're going to use. This year we're using Tech veins, and a field point, weigh it, and that's what it comes out to be. So we're shooting a 392 grain arrow. So I'm pretty excited about this bow. Diamond has definitely come a long way. The first year I think I did the Liberty, and about 4 years ago I reviewed the Liberty. So in just 4 years they've really come out with such an awesome compound that you could buy these bows at Cabela's or Bass Pro Shops, and these are quality bows. I'm pretty excited what Diamond has to offer, and I'm glad to have them the first bow in our bow review this year. Also, one more thing is that like I said, it has the carbon rod, the STS type system that stops the string, but it also comes outfitted with the normal Bowtech silencing equipment. We don't shoot the bows enough during the review, at least 100 times or so, but I've had a lot of these fall off in the past from the Bowtech line of bows. But however, they work, and they prove to be pretty good. This is a 70-pound bow set up at 29 inches. So like all our other bows, 29 inches, 70 pounds. That's what we do our bow review out, because that's the average hunting bow that's out there for men. This year, something that's really cool is we're going to have some female bows this year that we'll be doing some reviews on. We're going to go ahead and do the draw test on this and see how it works. All right, folks, we're going to do the draw test on the Iceman. I already have the arrow in the hostage rest. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to draw it back and see how it draws. Like I said, it's a 70 pounds. She draws back solid. There's a short valley in it, but once it gets back, it's a solid wall. I mean, right at 29 inches. I'll try creeping a little. It definitely wants to go. You don't have much creep at all in there. Not much creep at all. Come forward just a hair. Yep, you got maybe an 1/18 of an inch that you can creep in there. But I'll tell you what, once you're back, it is solid. You're solid right at 29 inches. And it feels good. It feels really good. Alright folks, we're going to do the shooting test, and we're going to go ahead and shoot the Diamond Iceman. Like I said, there's, you know, it creeps a little bit. You can't really creep that much with it, but I know it's going to pay off when I shoot the bow. Very fast, I think. Very smooth, comes back solid ball. Man, zero hand shock whatsoever. Zero hand shock. And it was smooth. Arrow flew down there quite well. Tell you what, folks, overall very impressive. I'm impressed with what I see here from Diamond so far. Alright folks, we're shooting the 392 grain Victory archery arrow out of the Iceman through the chronograph here. So let's see how fast she goes. I'm pretty excited to see. She's at 70 pounds, 29 inches. Sitting straight back, right over the top of the chrono. 282 feet per second. That's pretty darn fast. Alright, we're going to shoot it again right here through the chronograph. Smooth shooting, smooth shooting. Exactly the same. There you saw it. I was shooting about 282 feet per second through the chronograph with that 392 grain arrow. You know, that's an average size hunting arrow that I use. 282 feet per second is pretty gosh darn good out there. If you're shooting a fixed blade broadhead, that's about the perfect speed. I know I shot a Tribute in 06, and that was about what I was shooting with that. Maybe just a hair faster, but I think my arrows were a bit lighter. However, you know, the shootability of a bow, you know, under 300, you know, 300 is the perfect speed for me. 282 with a 392 grain arrow, I'm guarantee if we had the arrow from last year, we'd be shooting a lot faster. I really like the way this bow shoots. The Iceman total, I mean, the bow overall is just awesome. I really like it. There's zero hand shock. I'll give that a 10. The noise, there isn't any. I'll give that at least a 9.9, you know. There's just a hair, which isn't really much. However, you know, the valley, I'm going to have to get about an 8.9 or so on the creeping, because you can't creep at all with this bow, otherwise it wants to take off. However, with that being said, you know, the payoff is that it's a quiet, zero hand shock bow, and it's just fun to shoot. That long riser really makes it nice and easy to be able to shoot, and it feels really good in your hand. There's no, you know, it doesn't torque at all. Nice, it's got a thin neck on it, but it just feels comfortable in your hand. I really like the way the bow feels. So overall score, I'm going to have to give it about a 9.9. You know, 9.8, 9.9. I mean, that creep is the only thing that gets me. And if it didn't have that creep, this would be as close to 10 as they can be. Last year I gave a couple of bows really, really high scores because I really liked the way that the whole overall bow was. The Diamond Iceman is definitely a great shooting bow, and it just shoots beautiful. You know, it says right here on the side, Iceman, and that's definitely what it is. It's awesome. So, tell you what, if you need to go see one, you can at the bottom of the video here, right underneath, there'll be a little caption. You can even go to Bass Pro Shots right off of our page and buy that, buy this bow right there. And I'll tell you what, for Daryl Woods, who's my cameraman today, I really appreciate your help. I'm Jason Ballas with Outdoor Product Review. We look forward to seeing you on our next